April 27th, 2011. This is today's climate change update. Let's go ahead and start in Fukushima again. This is off the RSOE. Again, you cannot find this on the current list. You have to click on the icon, but I will provide the link for you below. Situation update number 99. This is the 26th of April, 2011. Water may be leaking from the #1 reactor's container vessel at Japan's quake-crippled nuclear plant, the Government Nuclear Safety Agency said Tuesday. The agency said robots were used to examine the inside of the reactor's building, as any leakage would interfere with the effort to keep the nuclear fuel inside the reactor's pressure vessel cool. And they're saying, we are currently examining the data, but we think that there is water leakage to some extent, quote unquote. That is a major understatement in my book. They have another situation update number 100, and again it goes through Japan's nuclear agency said Tuesday that water may be leaking from the reactor containment, blah blah blah. They also go on to say about how the farmers are protesting from the Fukishima, Chiba, Abaraki, and other prefectures joined in the protest, displaying vegetables and milk cows, shipments of which have been banned due to radiation concerns. Well, no kidding. And these farmers are hurting, and they're starting to protest, which is almost unheard of in Japan. Over to Earth Changes, Scott.net. Brazil, dozens die in floods and landslides. This is an ongoing situation down in Brazil. Landslides and floods in southern Brazil over the weekend are now known to have left dozens of people dead. Some 40,000 people have been affected by the torrential rain, and several hundreds left homeless. And we know the rest of the story, of course. In the United States, Ohio, more rain expected as region surpasses April record. Mostly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms likely through much of the day. Sound familiar? Once again, local residents experienced more rain Monday, adding to the April record of 11.32 inches set over the weekend, according to the National Weather Service. And these systems have been ongoing up and down the Ohio Valley and Mississippi Valley. Heavy rain and hail possible for North Texas tonight. Forecasters have issued a tornado watch for most of North Texas until midnight as cold front moves through the area, bringing with it storms that may be packing, damaging winds, large hail, and heavy rains. Sound familiar? They definitely have 2 pages worth of stuff today. They've got the story, Taal volcano heats up, gets ready to rumble. And I reported on that yesterday. They've got a fear piece, the nuclear disaster that could destroy Japan and the world. And they're talking how all the reactors in Japan are aging and are not up to par one little bit. 2 dead in Arkansas. Missouri, residents flee flooding. At least 2 people have been killed in Arkansas during the recent round of heavy storms and tornadoes that ripped through the Midwest, while Missouri residents flee from flooding, authorities said. And the levee gave way, but it was south of the town where they evacuated yesterday, and a bunch of rural farmland was destroyed. Another story out of with the Fukushima crisis. French system for cleaning Fukushima water blamed for leukemia. Polluted beaches in Europe. The process a French firm will use to clean Fukushima's radioactive water has been blamed for a leukemia cluster in France and for polluted beaches and irradiated waters from the English Channel to the Arctic Sea. And Riva SA has promised to remove up to 99.99% of the radioactive contaminants in 67,500 tons of water flooding the crippled Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. And what was it saying? The U.S. government would shun France's fuel reprocessing method because of non-proliferation concern and environmental concerns. So yay, more dangerous things going on to help patch. It's unbelievable. They got another story. Drought could continue in southern United States. Fort Worth, Texas, extreme drought that has gripped parts of 9 states, most of them in the south, is expecting to drag on for several months or intensifying, posing a risk for more wildfires, agricultural problems, and water restrictions, the national experts said on Monday. And hot water forecast for Texas as battle against wildfire continues. And hot, dry weather returns to Texas again this week, whisking away the limited relief scattered thunderstorms brought to firefighters on parts of the Lone Star State over the weekend. And they have millions and millions of acres already burnt and ongoing. Big quake shakes Acapulco. Tourists hit the streets. It was a 5.7 quake. They're not reporting any damages or injuries, but it sure scared the heck out of the tourists down there and sent everybody running down in Acapulco. And another fear piece, extremely dangerous tornado situation today here in the United States. And again, we're set up for another round of severe weather from East Texas, Arkansas, looks like, the works, all the way up through into the Ohio Valley. Missouri levee fails, prompting more evacuations, and a compromised levee in Poplar Bluff, Missouri failed Tuesday, forcing authorities to order more evacuations in the region. And again, this levee gave way south of where they thought it was going to do, and it ended up flooding a bunch of farmlands and a whole another set of people living out in the rural areas. The town's gone. 7 dead as storm slams Arkansas. 50 to 60 still unaccounted for in Valina Trail of Destruction, 15 miles long, 3 miles wide. The National Weather Service says First Light has revealed the track of a deadly tornado that flattened trees and power lines, tore roofs from homes, and left a debris-strewn path through a small central Arkansas town. And the tornado that swiped Bologna late Monday killed at least 4 residents, while the severe storm sweeping much of the Midwest left at least 3 people dead elsewhere in the state. And the emergency crews continue. Over to the extinction protocol. Again with the United States, tornado outbreak sweeps across southwest United States. 38 more twisters reported and 10 deaths. And then they've got the Acapulco story. Uptick in seismic activity in Indonesia. Double quakes rattle Java. They had a 5.4. And again, they're not reporting any injuries, but everybody sure felt it. A volcano in Ecuador. Tungura, Tungurahua volcano in Ecuador explodes. Evacuations ordered. April 26, authorities in Ecuador closed schools and evacuated residents in areas near the volcano Tuesday after ashes sweeping from its crater fell on homes and farms, state media reported. Dark plume ejected from Chile's. Another volcano. I'm not going to slur the name of this one. Eruptions render Gita noted a fairly impressive ash plume at Chile's Planchon volcano, at least seen on the webcam. The plume isn't especially tall, at least not from the vantage point of the webcam, but there's a rather dark and gray complexion, suggesting a lot of fractured rock or new magma in the plume itself. So we got another volcano that's erupted in the southern hemisphere. And then we've got a story on disaster alert, UB alert, Rio de Janeiro. A heavy storm which showered Rio on Monday evening, Tuesday morning, resulted to 1 death and significant damages in several areas in the city, according to the local authorities. And again, here in Brazil, just ongoing. Over to the RSOE, they've got a few things going on. Heat wave in India, and the volcano Ecuador, flooding in New Zealand. I know they had that severe weather yesterday, and again, they had to evacuate some folks, and some highways closed. We have a nuclear event in the state of Ohio, North Perry Nuclear Power Plant. Apparently they just refueled the power plant and they were firing it back up, and there's this one component that they had to replace or remove, and the radiation levels were much higher than expected, so the workers evacuated the building. They're still investigating, so that might be something we want to pay attention to. Coming out of Switzerland, I've seen videos on this, a major wild forest fire. Canton de Valais, Visp. I know I'm terrible at these names, but some serious wildfires, and that's just to accentuate the drought situations going on in Europe right now. We have extreme weather in Somalia. A couple of people have died. Some farm animals were drowned. Flooding in the outer regions. But the good news about Somalia is they've been rain deprived for at least 3 years. And they're saying these monsoon rains are just going to be a send for them, because people are literally, starving out there. So maybe this, even if it is extreme rain, rain for Somalia is good news. The volcano in Chile, tornado in Arkansas story, and a hailstorm in Namibia, Africa, and they're reporting severe crop loss. And the government seed farms where they actually produce the seeds for the farmers, due to all the flooding, they don't even know if they're going to be able to get the planting done. And a lot of the seed farms where they actually produce the seeds have been destroyed or damaged, and yeah, they're in some serious trouble there. And of course, the extreme weather here in the United States. That is about all I have for you today. Wow, 12 and a half minutes. So, of course, leave your comments or attach your videos. And until I see you again, enjoy while you can, everybody. Thanks.